Hey, Vinyl Community, Jeff here again with a little bit of fun that we had this past weekend. We're not about, now I'd mentioned this place before. I went to this place we go to periodically. At first I thought it was just an oddity in my area. It's a typical, it's not like the antique malls we have, but it's the same type of mentality. People rent booze and sell wares. Now antique malls tend to be like giant garage sales. This place is like people do crafts and specialty items. And it turns out other people commented on that video I made, and they said it sounds like the place we have in town called the Painted Tree, which is what this place is called. So I'm assuming then it's a chain and it's reached Virginia, and it is in other areas. So the Painted Tree. And so yeah, it's mainly like a giant mall type. Everybody's got booze and they sell homemade soaps and t-shirts and lots of handmade things, lots of knick-knacky type things, lots of specialty things, but it's all new stuff. And then in this giant store of, I don't know how many 100+ booths, sits a vinyl store. A guy opened a couple months ago. A person opened a booth with vinyl records and some books. And so I've been going there and checking that out. Now, I went there and, I found some decent stuff. Prices can vary from crazy to okay, and I've bought quite a few things there, and I've shown quite a few things that I bought there over time. So we went back there, and because last time I went there wasn't anything that worth buying. This time I went back there and it definitely had more stock. And as I'm flipping, I'm seeing some crazy stuff. A lot of stuff I already had, but still lots of 80s stuff, lots of Kiss and Van Halen, and I mean just regular stuff, but a lot more than I'm used to seeing. And then I started hitting some things that caught my eye, and I'm like, wow, this, and a lot of 80s stuff. I'm like, where? And he's got a lot of everything, but there was a lot more 80s than I remember seeing, which made me wonder, where's he getting this stuff? Anyway, some of it was unopened. And so I, found a couple things that I wanted to get, and went ahead and grabbed that. So I picked up Back in the Trouble in the Streets by Black Sheep. It was still sealed, hype sticker, everything. I did open it, of course, still listen to it. Pretty much, well, they had 2 albums, but it was a, band from California, metal band from the 80s on Enigma Records. And I guess it didn't do too much. They had a second album or EP called Sacrifice, which I'm still on the lookout for. Other than that, kind of done after that. The significance about this is that Paul Gilbert plays guitar on here. The other guitar player, which I'm drawing a blank on his name, Kurt James or something, I believe. He was in Steeler, early Steeler, before Malmsteen. He's been in some other bands over the years, so a couple of the guys have done some other things. But cool album, straightforward 80s type, a little grittier 80s metal. It's not like glammy stuff. But anyway, so yes, I've been on the lookout for this album. The price was, I probably could have saved a couple dollars buying it online, but supporting a local guy, it wasn't that drastic of a price jump, and it was still sealed. I haven't seen a still sealed copy online. It's not warped or anything, thank goodness. So grab that. Now, there were a couple other things I picked up, but I ultimately put it back because this was the big haul that was on the pricier side for what I wanted. But I picked up a copy of Battle Hymns by Manowar. I don't have any Manowar on vinyl. I have pretty much all their stuff either CD or digitally. I think most of it's digital nowadays. I don't even know if I have any of those. Anyway, and I saw this, and I know that most of their albums have been reissued over the years. I know that most of them are hard to find. I dropped real quick. I pulled up my app and looked in Discogs to find that Battle Hymns, this is the original 1982 pressing. It was in excellent condition. It's got a hole punch. The vinyl itself was a little dusty, but no damage to it at all. Plays perfectly. So I looked it up and I'm like, okay, is this guy asking a decent price for this? Now the price I found online for a decent copy ranged anywhere from, you could probably find one in the under $50, barely. But once you add shipping and everything, the average seemed to be anywhere from like $50 to $100 for this album. I saw a couple copies for $80. This was nothing like that. This was nothing that outrageous. And so I'm like, I still don't want to buy it. I don't really care to spend this much on a record, in the $50 range. I'm like, I'm not a big... But I looked at them like, and then I found the copies that had been repressed on like, was it Back on Black or Music on Vinyl? One of them repressed it, and they're going for $150, $300. It's like crazy, crazy stuff. But the original pressings were anywhere from like 50 to 100, and this was less than that. I thought, well, it's worth it, but do I like Manowar enough to have it? Ultimately, you can see I did bring it home. And so, like I said, it was in great condition, and I went ahead and made the plunge. Like I said, they had a couple other things I probably wouldn't have minded getting, but once I kind of settled on this one and the other one, I thought, that's my limit for the day. I'm done. So yeah, great stuff. It's not that I'm opposed to Manowar. I like their stuff. I never see their stuff on vinyl. So that's the other thing that was shocking. You don't see vinyl. I don't see their vinyl anywhere in any store, anywhere around here. So when I saw it, it was kind of odd. Now, it got me thinking, where's this guy getting this from? He had some other Enigma type stuff, some 80s stuff that was still sealed. He had the Warrior album. He had a couple Keel albums. Just a lot of stuff that, like I say, I already have. But just I'm like, wow. Where is he getting this 80s stuff from? Now, it makes me wonder, just about a week ago, there was a big record show about an hour and a half from here, and I hemmed and hawed about thinking about going. My wife's like, hey, why don't we go up for the day, hit the record show, blah, 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 but we never did. I'm wondering maybe he did, and that's where he picked some of this up. So it was a big record show like up in Richmond, and maybe that's where he got it from, because I'm just curious, where all of a sudden does he get this big haul of decent looking stuff? But that's it. Just some fun stuff. I definitely would be going back, and if the one or two things that I left behind are still there, it'll be something for another trip, I guess. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Rock on and rock hard.